is time. It is time to brew your best beer. The 2015 SJPORR Challenge is brought to you by the Grainville Homebrew Supply, located in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. Brewers Exchange, operating in the U.S. and Canada. Finney's Homebrew Emporium, located in Bishopdale, Christchurch, New Zealand. And Omega Yeast, located in Chicago, Illinois.
Good evening. It's a Friday night, so no work tomorrow. So I'm going to have a couple of beers after I've done this, which I'm looking forward to. So tonight, the third beer in the 2015 SJPORR Challenge is this very attractive little number. Club Medievale. See what he's done there. Club Med, Medieval, and Vale. I don't know if Vale is anything or what, but anyway. Club Med. Yeah, I was thinking Club Tropicana then, where drinks are free, but no, Club Med is the holiday company, isn't it? Anyway, this is brewed in Epping Green, Essex, and it was brewed in May, so it's been around a little while, this beer. Difficult to tell the colour there, but we'll see in a second. It is reference 2AD-161-52F. So, on the bottle, Simian's Club Medievale. Simian, I believe, was in last year's challenge. I remember a beer by Simian, I guess, last year. Anyway, this historic and mysterious, this is the information on the bottle, I'm not, ad-libbing. This historic and mysterious dark ale is initially hopped, and then later in the bourse fused with 5 ancient herbs of brewing legend. Yarrow, alehoof, mugwort, bog myrtle, and heather flowers. Harvested the yarrow. I assume it's a he, sorry. He or she, Simian, that's probably a boy's name, isn't it? Man's name. God, sorry, I'm all over the place. Friday night, whatever. I harvested the yarrow locally. Traditionally, middle-class medieval knights binged on this ale to whip themselves into a frenzy before jousting on all-inclusive holidays. I wonder where they went on their all-inclusive holidays. And did they get, was this the all-inclusive beer on their holidays, or did they get, some kind of macro ale which was free on their all-inclusive holidays, whereas this is obviously the craft brew of its time. Rumoured to combat Lancer's wrist, whatever that is. I see. It's like tennis elbow, isn't it? But for the, it affects the wrist, and it's people that fight with lances. And to provide relief from plague, which is good. Oh, well, I guess it would be good. I haven't got plague, so it's not particularly good for me. Do not drink this beer if pregnant. Read about the herbs if interested. Why? Oh, well, I'm really sorry I haven't done that. I might try it afterwards. For clear beer, let's settle. Excuse me. Let's start again. For clear beer, let sediment settle after transport. Get glass ready before opening. Pour steadily in one go and leave the final portion containing the sediment behind in the bottle. Fairly standard and good bottle conditioned serving instructions there. And the final thing on there, 7% on the ABV, so it's got a good bit of alcohol. Let's the high technology spoon bottle opener. Let's so we've got a little bit of a hiss. There is definitely some smoke in there. Oh, and okay, straight away I'm going to move this back to a decent position so you can see the top of my head. To me, big caramel notes off the nose. Smells good. It smells Smells like a really caramelly kind of brown ale or dark ale, you know, kind of English style with, you know, lovely, definitely caramel as the overriding smell. I'm not getting any of these herbs as yet, so we'll have to see. Pour on slowly, and yes, it is very caramelly, kind of a brown colour, I think is all I can say. Stop it there. So, what have we got? It is actually, I don't know if you can see, maybe just the bottom of that. Let me just grab my phone. And the battery's almost run out, so there you go. You can see there, it's got pretty good clarity going on behind there. And lovely red colour coming through there, which I guess probably does it justice. It's a really nice kind of reddy brown colour, very attractive. No, well, there was some head when I poured it straight away. I was fairly gentle with the pour, so I didn't coax anything. But that has dissipated pretty quickly. Does appear to be some carbonation going on there, evidenced by the hiss, the smoke, and I can see some bubbles rising. Now, I'm still getting that caramelly note out of the glass, but I'm also getting something else which is difficult to put my finger on. I'm guessing this must be the herbs. I'm not really familiar with any of these herbs, well, apart from one actually. I'm a member of a local homebrew group which meets every month. There's only a few members because we're in rural mid Wales, and one of the members once brought an ale that she had brewed using malt. She was trying to brew the cheapest ale she possibly could. It was malt extract, I think probably the Simian one, which you can buy off Amazon and plenty of other places, which is, you know, about 13 quid or something for 3 kilos. Bread yeast and mugwort from her garden, and by heck was that a man's beer. The mugwort is really sour, I mean, not unpleasantly so, but ooh, very strong stuff. So I'm not getting any of that off here, at least in the mugwort, but I am getting something. I don't know, it's mixing with that caramel a little bit. It's kind of a bit black curranty, I suppose, is what it reminds me of. Something quite perfumed as well about it, I'd say. Maybe that's the heather. Heather's quite perfumey, isn't it? But anyway, let's give it a go. So cheers to Simian, if that is your name, sir, and good health. Well, straight away, I can see why these medieval knights would whip themselves into a frenzy over this beer. It's really, really nice. It does have a big caramel note, as you'd expect with this colour. I'm guessing there's a fair chunk of crystal in here, or caramel malt, as it's called over this side of the Atlantic. But that's really well balanced with, I'm guessing this is your bittering hops. And I tell you what, I'm glad I haven't had anything to eat or drink since dinner. We had quite a bland dinner, let's say, just some poached fish and vegetables and things like that. Because I'm finding it quite difficult to pick out the herbs, certainly the individual herbs. I think if I'd had a big hoppy IPA before this, it would have been a struggle to tell this just from an English style brown ale, I suppose. But I can taste the herbs, but it's really difficult to put your finger on what I'm tasting. And that's because that caramelliness and the bitterness to balance it is really dominating the flavour. I wonder. I know it wouldn't be true to what do you call it, the style, I suppose, of medieval beers, because I believe that the malts, pale malt, simply didn't exist back in medieval times, and the malts would have been much darker. So most beers were quite dark. But I wonder whether the herbs would pronounce themselves better in a paler beer. That said, carbonation is typical for an English ale, I'd say. Nothing wrong with that, obviously. Like I said before, really nice clarity. I don't believe I can taste any particular off flavours. So a well executed beer. Don't know whether this is an all grain or an extract, but yeah, 7% as well. So there's a lot of alcohol in this beer. It's quite it's got quite a nice full body, and it masks that alcohol quite well. There's just a touch of warmth on the palate from the alcohol, but other than that, hey, what can I say? It's an enjoyable beer. So, you know, I'm guessing this was relatively experimental, whoever brewed it, and I would say it's really successful, because it's absolutely drinkable, enjoyable even, drinkable and enjoyable. Sorry, yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. So I'm going to give this a sip, and I'm going to click on to the reviewing site and give you some scores. So thank you to the brewer. Cheers, good health, and well done.